My name's Ben. You can't tell right away, but actually I'm an immigrant. I was born in the worst part of Russia. And my family, we came here when I was a little kid to America. I grew up in a cold, loveless hellhole, Connecticut. And when in college, I double majored in economics and philosophy. So I know how to make money. I just don't see the point. And then a few years out of college, after doing a little management consulting in grad school, I found that I love doing comedy the most. So I've been doing that for over a decade now. Stand-up to me is just failing over and over with each new joke. The first version of each new joke is 9 out of 10 times garbage, or like if you have 5 sentences, only one of them is actually funny. So like you could call that a mistake or iterative learning. And I kind of view it like an iterative process. Like, okay, this is what I think is funny. Let me say it out loud. Here's a laugh, here's a laugh. Let me get rid of the parts that don't work or rewrite them. It's like fail often, fail fast, fail cheap. Look, if I'm doing a 15-minute performance, the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes are gonna be the things that I know already work and get laughs. And then the 5 minutes in the middle is kind of where I can make mistakes because usually the audience likes you at that point. So then it's like, all right, let's see the things that we're not sure about. Oh, that wasn't the best. Oh, okay, this can work. And it's like kind of iterating that process. A friend of mine was like, how'd you get so funny, Ben? I'm like, oh, I just bombed over and over and over again until I just kept the good parts. One of the improv theaters in New York City, the Pit, the People's Improv Theater, where I studied and that I recommend, they have a hole in the wall, like where someone punched it or a hammer met or whatever, and then they put a frame around it, so now it's like a piece of art instead of a mistake. You use it either to learn or to make art or whatever. I wouldn't call most things a mistake. You know, if you mortgage your house, go to Vegas and put it on black at the roulette wheel, that's a mistake. But like, let me try drawing an apple and the apple doesn't look like an apple. That's not a mistake. Look, you have to draw 500 bad apples before you can draw a good apple. So it's just like part of the learning process. But like, you can't first overthink it. It's like first just start doing the thing and then it's gonna improve over time. But there's no reason to like think about drawing for 2 years without ever picking up a pencil. The biggest damage is from not trying, and it's also if you teach yourself too much negative self-talk, that negative reinforcement over time can just like lower what you want to do with life, which isn't good for kids or adults. If you set significantly smaller goals, I find that very helpful, like very small daily goals. I have a story of where things went wrong and then I used it in a useful manner. So my third comedy album, during the recording, you usually record 2 shows and then mix them together. And the first one went terrible. But like there was 3 people laughing and 40 people staring at me, not understanding what was happening pretty much. Which, you know, that's not fun in general, but especially when like this is gonna be the album, that's a problem. Luckily the second show went well and we just used that. But then I wrote a joke about it. That joke wound up getting into the next album as part of a different story. So like I turned a bad show into a bunch of jokes. So like having that, while it wasn't great in the moment, it was a helpful, now if that situation happens again, this is how I can deal with it, and I have the joke to go along with it. The book, New Parents Smell, it's written by me and my wife. We're both comedians. It's divided into 3 sections: pregnancy, the labor and delivery, and newborns. And then in each section, it's Michelle's jokes, and then my response with my version about a lot of the similar events.